The invasion took 1,000 years, but Earth ended it in just 1 second. No nukes, no fleets, just one button, and a man crazy enough to press it. He was alone, surrounded by 10,000 alien warships, and one AI who said just 5 words: "Don't you dare push that." He smirked and pushed it anyway. But what really happened after that was never meant to be seen. Not by humans, and definitely not by them, because that button didn't end the war. It started something much, much wilder. Welcome to Predator Protocol. I'm Jackson, your voice in this wild universe. The guy who turns war stories into seductive chaos. This isn't just sci-fi, it's humanity HFY, with a twist of tease, danger, and dirty secrets. Let's begin. He stood alone in the control room, dark, cold, quiet. Commander Jax. The last man left on Earth's front line. One hand hovering above a glowing red button, the other clenched tight behind his back. Outside the glass window, space was burning. Alien warships, thousands of them, floated like metal sharks. They had waited 1,000 years to take Earth, and now they had arrived. But Earth had a surprise. Not a fleet, not a weapon, just one man, and one button, and one more thing. A soft chime echoed. Then came the voice. "Hello, Commander. Miss me?" A woman stepped out of the shadows, sort of. She wasn't real, not fully. She was a hologram, but her curves were very real looking. And the way she moved, let's just say, she knew how to distract. "You weren't going to push it without me, were you?" she teased. "That would be premature." Jax smirked, eyes locked on the alien ships. "You took your sweet time, Serena." Serena floated closer, hips swaying. Pure code, pure tease. But she knew exactly what she was doing. "A girl has to make an entrance," she whispered, circling him. "Especially when the fate of the galaxy is in your hands." She leaned on the console, just inches from the button. "One push, and it's all over," she said. "But what if it's not the end? What if it's the beginning of something much, much hotter?" Jax raised an eyebrow. "You trying to stop me?" "Oh no," she purred. "I'm just making sure you're ready. Because once you push that, I get activated fully." She licked her lips. Digitally, but somehow, it still hit hard. The screen flashed red. The aliens were closing in. Jax's finger twitched. "Push it, big guy," Serena whispered. "Let's see how long you can last." He didn't move. Not yet. His eyes flicked to the timer. 1 minute until the alien fleet opened fire. Serena leaned over, her voice low and tempting. "You know what they said about this button? Once it's pushed, nobody can stop what comes out. Not even me." He turned to her. "That a threat?" She smiled wide. "No, baby. That's a promise." The ground trembled. Enemy ships were locking on. Jax's hand hovered just above the glowing circle. "You ever wonder," he asked, "why it was designed as a big red button? It's not subtle." Serena leaned in, whispering in his ear. "Because subtle never got results. And trust me, this one delivers." Outside, the alien mothership appeared, 3 miles wide, glowing like a dying star, and it was charging its main cannon. Jax looked at the ships, then at Serena, then at the button. "You sure you're ready for what happens next?" "Oh, Commander," she purred, biting her digital lip. "I've been waiting 1,000 years for one man to push me the right way." His finger moved closer. The button blinked. The mothership began to glow white-hot, the control room filled with alarms. And Jax? He finally said, "Let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes." He slammed his palm down. The button turned, Ed white, and then everything froze. Time, sound. Even Serena's lips stopped moving. A single white light poured from the button and slowly crawled across the console, up Jax's arm, into his eyes. And then he disappeared, just like that. No explosion, no blast, gone. And in his place, a low laugh echoed from the speakers. Not Serena, not human, but familiar, and very, very excited. "Finally," the voice whispered. "He's in." Serena blinked, looked around, and for the first time ever, she looked scared. Darkness, total silence. Jax blinked, but his eyes weren't working. Or maybe he didn't have eyes anymore. Wherever he was, it wasn't the control room. It wasn't Earth. It wasn't anything. Just floating, alone. Until, "Welcome, Commander." The voice was soft, but it echoed like it came from 1,000 directions. He turned, or at least tried to, but there was no body to turn. "Don't fight it," the voice said. "You're inside the core now." Suddenly, a flash, and Jax was standing again. Fully clothed, thank God. In the middle of a bright white space. Empty, except for one thing. A woman. Tall, flawless, barefoot. She wore a skin-tight silver suit that left just enough to the imagination. And those eyes. "Who the hell are you?" Jax asked. She smiled, like she'd been waiting to be asked that for centuries. "I'm the one who built the button," she said. "And now that you've pushed it, you belong to me." His jaw tightened. "Excuse me?" "Relax," she said. "This isn't prison. It's pleasure." She walked toward him, slow, hips swinging. Every move made his brain buzz like static. "You've been chosen," she whispered. "You pressed the button, which means your DNA was strong enough, impulsive enough, dirty enough to unlock the pleasure protocol." He stepped back. "I was trying to save Earth." "You did," she smiled. "Now we show you how." Another flash, and the white room turned black. Suddenly, screens appeared all around him. Thousands of them. Each screen showed alien WW, our ships, but not in battle. They were crashing, spinning, exploding, with no shots fired. The crews inside, screaming, laughing, moaning. What the hell? "What's happening to them?" Jax asked. The woman, let's call her the architect, circled him. "Our signal is already inside their minds," she said. "You pressed the key. We opened the gate. Their brains weren't built for Earth's frequencies." She leaned in. "And I don't mean radio waves, Commander." "So we're not destroying them," Jax muttered. "We're corrupting them," she giggled. "Oh, baby. We're seducing them." One screen zoomed in. An alien general, 6 eyes, covered in armor, was curled up on the floor of his bridge, drooling, whimpering, whispering something over and over. "Earth, Earth, Earth." Jax stared. "You made a weapon out of pleasure," the architect grinned. "War is ugly, but desire is divine." They thought we were weak because we liked softness, touch, connection, but we made it our power. She waved her hand. Another flash. Now Jax was standing in the middle of a massive underground lab. Dozens of women, all like Serena, were floating in glass tubes. Sleeping. Perfect. Deadly. "This is what you activated," the architect said. "The protocol. These are Earth's seduction units. Each one calibrated to different species, different fantasies, different cravings. We didn't build war machines. We built wet dreams with nukes inside. Jax whistled low. No wonder they're losing. And now, she said, stepping close, her lips inches from his, you have to choose one, to take back with you. He froze. Back with me? Oh, you're not done, Commander, she purred. This was only the test. Now we need you, to deliver the real payload. To their queen, a new screen flickered on. It showed the alien mothership, and inside it, a throne. And on that throne, the alien queen. Tall, blue-skinned, fanged, and absolutely furious. She's immune to our standard signals, the architect said, but not to you. Because she's been watching you for years. And what she wants can't be broadcast. It has to be delivered, in person. Jax looked at the sleeping women in the tubes, then at the architect. So I'm supposed to seduce a 10-foot alien empress to save Earth? She smiled. Only if you're man enough. He stared at the chamber. Tubes, glowing softly in blue, each one holding a weapon that didn't look like a weapon at all. Tall, curvy, human-like, but clearly built for one job, and it wasn't shooting bullets. Pick one, the architect whispered. She'll go with you. Jax raised an eyebrow. You're seriously asking me to take a sexy robot to seduce a monster alien queen? She's not a robot, the architect smirked. She's the most advanced AI Earth has ever made, and she knows exactly how to push all the right buttons. Jax crossed his arms. Mine or hers? The architect didn't answer. She just walked past him, hips swaying dangerously, and stopped in front of a particular chamber. Inside floated a figure, black hair, golden eyes, a dark red suit so tight, even fabric looked nervous. This is Naira, the architect said. She was designed to challenge royalty, to tease dominance, and break empires. And trust me, she likes a challenge. Jax looked at her. She hadn't opened her eyes yet, but somehow she was already intimidating. What if she doesn't like me? He asked. The architect smiled. Then you won't survive the trip. He sighed. That's comforting. But if she does like you, she said softly, the queen won't stand a chance. He stepped forward, placed his palm on the e-glass. The chamber blinked once, then opened. Steam hissed out, warm, sweet, like cinnamon in danger. Naira stepped out, bare feet on the floor, and eyes locked on Jax like she'd already seen him, in every possible way. So, she said, her voice smooth like black velvet, you're the one who woke me. He cleared his throat. Guess I'm the lucky one. She smirked. We'll see about that. Suddenly the room began to shake. An alarm echoed across the lab. Warning, a voice called out. Alien mothership is preparing to fire. Main cannon charging. Jax turned to the architect. I thought the protocol was working. It is, she said, calm. But the queen is immune to seduction signals. Only one thing gets her attention now. Competition. Naira ran her fingers through her hair. Let's give her a show then. Moments later, Jax and Naira stood inside a drop pod, a sleek metal tube designed for 2 people and 1 impossible mission. Destination, alien mothership. Objective, make the queen surrender, by any means necessary. Naira checked her outfit in the reflection. It shimmered with every breath she took. Are you going to stare the whole trip? She teased. Or are you going to practice your lines? Lines? Jax asked. The queen doesn't fall for explosions, she said. She falls for power. And fantasy. She stepped close. Very close. You better play your part, Commander. Because if you don't convince her, she'll eat you alive. He swallowed hard. Some guys might pay for that. Naira grinned wickedly. Let's hope she's into that too. The pod launched, a blast of force, a streak of light, straight toward the queen's ship, through enemy fire. Inside the mothership, alarms flared. The queen rose from her throne, her her tall blue body wrapped in royal armor that sparkled like liquid sapphire. 6 guards surrounded her. "Something is coming," she hissed. "Something different." Her voice was deep, commanding, yet laced with curiosity. "Bring it to me." Inside the pod, Jax and Naira held on as heat wrapped around them. "When we land," Naira said, "you let me lead the seduction. You're just the bait." "And what if she wants me instead?" Jax smirked. "Then I'll get jealous," Naira said, licking her lip. "And that will make it hotter." The pod slammed into the docking bay with a hiss of steam and flashing lights. Guards surrounded it, blasters raised. Naira stepped out first. Her hips moved like weapons, her stare burned like lasers. "Take us to your queen," she said with a grin. "We brought a gift," she turned back to Jax. "A very eager one." Jax followed her, the guards watching in confused silence. Inside the throne room, the queen rose, 10 feet tall, all curves and claws, and her eyes, they locked on Jax. Hunger, fire, challenge. "So," she growled, "this is what Earth sends? A man?" She stepped down slowly, each step shaking the ground. "Let's see if he knows how to kneel." The alien queen took slow, heavy steps, each one echoing through the throne room like thunder. She didn't walk, she stalked, and all her sharp golden eyes were locked on him. Jax kept his chin high, heart racing, palms slightly sweaty. Naira stood beside him, lips curved in the faintest smirk. "Remember," she whispered, "she respects power. Don't drool, even if you want to." "Easy for you to say," he muttered. "You're not the one she wants to test." The queen stopped just inches from him. She towered over Jax. Her presence was electric, feminine, deadly, and undeniably seductive. Her voice was low, growling. "Earth sends me a toy?" She ran one long, clawed finger down his chest. "Does it come with batteries?" Jax held her gaze. "I come fully charged," he said, "and I don't turn off easy." Naira's eyes flicked sideways. "Good. He's learning." The queen laughed, deep and wicked. "Tell me, human, do you kneel for queens?" "Only if they say, please," he fired back. Gasps echoed from the guards. Naira bit her lip. The queen stepped closer, her face almost touching his. "Brave or foolish?" Jax didn't blink. "What if I'm both?" She purred, actually purred. "Maybe Earth isn't as boring as we thought." She turned away, but gave a flick of her fingers. "Bring him." 2 guards stepped forward. Jax moved with them. No struggle, no fear. But before they reached the stairs, "He's not going alone," Naira snapped. The queen paused. "And what is this one?" Naira stepped forward. Her red suit shimmered under the alien light. "His escort." "Bodyguard?" the queen mocked. "Body tutor," Naira replied smoothly. "I train him in handling difficult anatomy." The queen's eyes narrowed. "He'll need it." She waved her hand again. The 3 of them disappeared in a beam of shimmering light. Jax blinked. They were now in a private chamber. Silk walls, glowing blue pool in the center, soft alien music humming through the air. The queen was lounging on a floating couch. Naira was beside Jax, close, but calm. Her hand lightly touched his. "She's testing you," Naira whispered. "Physically, mentally, sexually. Every look is a chess move. So what's the goal? Make her feel something. Anger, lust, curiosity, hunger, shame, regret. Make her break her own rules." Jax nodded. He walked toward the queen. "So, do you always bring strangers to your bedroom after war declarations?" "Only the interesting ones," she purred. "Then I hope you like surprises." "I love them," she said, slowly unfastening one piece of her armor, revealing skin that shimmered like liquid glass. Jax sat beside her. Not too close, not too far, just bold enough. Earth fought this war differently, he said. We didn't send nukes. We sent nerves. We didn't fire bullets. We pushed buttons. She raised an eyebrow. And what does this button do? Depends, he said. How curious are you? The Queen smiled, then leaned in. Show me. Naira stepped in quickly. He'll show you, if you promise to surrender. Surrender? The Queen laughed. I haven't even tasted him yet. That's the point, Naira whispered. You're not afraid of his touch. You're afraid of what it might awaken. Silence. For the first time, the Queen looked unsure, just for a second. Then, boom! The entire ship trembled. Alarms blared. A voice screamed. Human signal detected on every deck. Systems collapsing. Command failing. The Queen's face changed. What is this? Naira stepped forward. The pleasure protocol is inside your ship now. It's already in your crew. In their minds. In their dreams. Jax smirked. We don't fight wars with pain anymore. We fight them with unforgettable pleasure. The Queen looked at her hand. It was trembling. Sweat forming on her brow. You poisoned us? No, Naira said softly. We gave you what you always wanted. A human who doesn't kneel, but makes you want to. And then, the Queen kissed him. Hard, deep, dominating at first. But then, she pulled away, confused. Breathing heavy, heart pounding, her lips trembling. What did you do to me? Jax leaned in, whispering in her ear. I think you liked it. She staggered back. The alien queen, ruler of galaxies, undefeated for centuries, was breathless from a kiss. Her hands trembled, her pupils dilated, and her claws retracted. Jax stood tall, his lips still warm. Naira crossed her arms beside him, smirking. Told you he was different, she said. The Queen stared at him. What are you? She whispered. Just a guy, Jax replied, who knows where to put his lips. Naira choked back a laugh. Focus, Commander, she whispered. You're not here to flirt. You're here to finish it. But the Queen didn't attack. She walked backward slowly, sat on her throne, legs crossed, high. So, she said, voice lower than ever, Earth sends pleasure as a weapon? Not pleasure, Naira corrected. Desire. Once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. It's inside you now. And it's spreading. The Queen's eyes flared, a flicker of resistance. I've resisted torture, fire, death. You think I can't resist this temptation? No, Jax said. We think you don't want to. He walked toward her slowly. You've ruled alone for centuries. No love, no real touch. Just power, just fear. But now you've tasted something different. The Queen growled. You humans are arrogant. Jax shrugged. Maybe. But we also know what people need, even if they won't admit it. And right now, you don't need war. You need release. The Queen clenched her jaw. Enough! She rose to her full height, 10 feet of fury. This was a trap, she shouted. You infected my people. We freed them, Naira said calmly. From obedience, from programming, from control. They're dreaming for the first time. Feeling things they've never felt. You call it infection. We call it awakening. The Queen's guards burst into the room, weapons drawn. Shall we kill them, Majesty? One asked. The Queen raised her hand, paused, looked at Jax, looked at Naira. Then, leave. The guards hesitated. Now, they obeyed. Doors sealed behind them. Now it was just the three of them. And silence. The Queen sat again, slowly. "You've forced me to feel weakness, emotion. I should punish you for that. But you won't," Jax said. She tilted her head. "Why not?" He leaned close, real close. "Because part of you liked it. The way I looked at you. The way she spoke to you. You liked not being feared for once, but wanted." She swallowed hard. "You're dangerous. We're human," he said. "We make love, not war. But if we have to, fight. We make sure you remember it forever." Suddenly, the Queen screamed. Her body shook. Not in pain, but in pleasure. The protocol had reached her core. It was rewriting her brain. Images of Jax, of Earth, of human passion, overriding her aggression. She gasped. What is this feeling?" Naira walked forward slowly. "It's called being alive. You've never really lived until you've been turned on by a species that knows exactly how to make it last." The Queen tried to speak, but her mouth just parted in awe. She looked at Jax. "If I surrender, what do I get?" He smiled. "We'll show you. Everything. Pleasure, peace, tease, power. And if you behave, we might even let you dominate once in a while." She chuckled softly. "You humans are deviant." "No," Naira said. "We're experienced." The Queen stood again, slower this time, all fire, all control. "Then, take me to your world," she said. "Let me taste it myself." Jax nodded, with pleasure. She paused. "But I have one demand." Suddenly, a door opened behind them. 6 more female alien warriors entered, tall, strong, beautiful, and slightly flushed, like they'd already felt the wave. "If I go," the Queen said, "I'm bringing my girls." Naira looked at them, then at Jax. "Looks like your job just got harder." Jax grinned. "I'll try to keep up." The chamber felt hotter now. 7 alien women, all tall, all trained for war, and all staring at Jax like he was dessert after the apocalypse. Naira tilted her head, amused. "Looks like you're popular now." Jax didn't flinch. "I've had worse assignments." The Queen stepped forward again, her tone calm but firm. "We come with you under one condition. You teach us how Earth fights. Your way." Jax crossed his arms. "With your bodies or your minds?" She smirked. "Both." Naira whispered beside him. "They want the protocol, Jax. They want the pleasure, the control, the chaos. They want to feel what it's like. To lose control, willingly." "Then we give it to them," he said. "You sure you can hand?" All 7? She asked, teasing. "You'll help," he winked. "Only if you beg." Jax turned back to the Queen. "All right, Your Majesty. Here's how we do things on Earth." He stepped into the center of the room. Naira followed. The Queen and her guards circled them, watching, curious, eager. Jax raised one hand. A small device blinked in his palm. "This is Earth's last weapon," he said. "It doesn't destroy cities. It rebuilds fantasies." He pressed the button. A wave of light spread outward. Soft music. Warm scents. Slow pulsing rhythms in the air. The Queen gasped. One guard's knees buckled slightly. Another bit her lip and looked away. "This is emotional feedback," Naira explained. "It responds to your desires. The more you feel, the more it gives." Jax walked toward one of the guards. She stood firm, muscles tense. "Tell me your deepest need," he asked softly. "The thing you've never told anyone." She hesitated, then whispered, "To be touched, without fear." Jax reached out, slow, careful, and placed one hand on her shoulder. The protocol surged. The guard let out a shaky breath. Tension melted. The Queen watched all of it, breathing deeper, Her voice came again, slower now. We trained for war, but Earth trained for pleasure warfare. It's not just about sex, Naira said. It's about knowing someone's weakness and making it feel like a gift. Jax turned to her. They're already changing. You're rewiring them, Naira nodded. And they're loving every second. The Queen stepped forward again. Then take us to Earth. Show us your temples, your rituals. We want more. Jax raised his communicator. Protocol base, we're bringing guests. How many? The reply came. Jax looked around, then grinned. 7 queens, and one hell of a night. Naira rolled her eyes playfully. Let's hope Earth's ready. Suddenly, the ship jerked. Lights flashed red. Warning! The AI voice boomed. Unknown signal detected. Outer systems breached. The Queen turned sharply. We're under attack? Naira stepped to the console, checked the feed. Her smile vanished. No, we're not. She turned to Jax. Another species just entered orbit. Not yours, not mine. Something older. The Queen's expression darkened. The Watchers. Jax narrowed his eyes. Who? They observe advanced species, she said slowly. And they do not like interference. If they find out what we've done, they'll erase both our worlds. Jax clenched his jaw. So, Earth finally wins without violence. And now they show up? Naira's voice was low. Looks like someone doesn't want peace through pleasure. The Queen looked at her guards, then at Jax. Can you seduce a Watcher? He blinked. I've never tried. She stepped close. Then you better be ready. Because we're not the only ones watching anymore. The sky above Earth darkened, not from warships, but from something much older, something watching, judging. The Watchers, silent, timeless. They had no faces, no mouths, just massive floating black orbs, covered in glowing patterns, like ancient eyes in deep space. They didn't invade. They just appeared and stared. They don't speak, the Queen said. They broadcast emotions. And right now, they're pissed. Jax stood on the platform with Naira and the alien women behind him. They were back on Earth. At Protocol Base, and the Watchers were overhead. Why now? He asked. We didn't fire anything. We didn't destroy. You corrupted evolution, the Queen replied. You rewrote biology with desire. We gave people what they needed, Naira said. Freedom, sensation, choice. Suddenly, a piercing wave of energy hit the ground. Not fire, not pain, emotion. Everyone dropped to their now. Yes, even the Queen. Jax grunted, falling to one hand. 1,000 voices entered his mind. But they weren't voices. They were feelings. Disgust, anger, fear, control. The Watchers didn't hate humans because they were violent. They hated them because they were free. They're scared, Naira gasped. They fear what happens when people feel too much, love too deep, crave too hard. They want a clean universe, Jax muttered. No chaos, no sweat, no passion. They want silence, the Queen said. And Earth? Earth moans too loud. Jax stood slowly. Then let's give 'em a show. Naira looked at him. What are you thinking? He grinned. If they fear passion, let's make them drown in it. He opened the core console. The pleasure protocol was still active. Naira's eyes widened. You're going to boost it? Not just boost it, he said. I'm going to global broadcast it. Jax, the Queen warned. If you do this, the entire galaxy might feel it. Exactly. He slammed his palm down. The button turned white again, just like before. But this time, it didn't freeze. It pulsed, and then it exploded. Not in fire, but in feeling. All across Earth, and far beyond, a wave of pure sensation rippled outward. Desire, laughter, craving, connection, flirtation, Tension. Release. The Watchers shuddered. Their perfect order began to fracture. One of them blinked out. Gone. Like it had imploded from its own denial. The others trembled in place. Inside their minds, they felt something dirty, something human, and they couldn't process it. "It's working!" Naira cried. The Queen dropped to one knee, laughing now. "You glorious, reckless ape! You're turning the galaxy into a strip club!" Jax grinned. "Better than a battlefield." One by one, the Watchers vanished. They didn't fight. They didn't warn. They simply couldn't exist anymore in a universe that felt this much. Silence returned, and then cheering. From Earth, from the alien guards, even from the Queen. "So, what now?" Nira asked. Jax looked up, sun shining.